Today, I'm very excited to talk to you about exchange programs, international studies, overseas program that university offers. Although a lot of the information may be consistent across the universities, today I'm going to explore and introduce you to different programs that University of Sydney offers and talk to you a little bit more about the program that I'll be participating in the coming few weeks. Of course, everyone wants to go on exchange. Just thinking about studying overseas, traveling overseas, and if you can combine that, it can't be more exciting than this. Overseas studies, study abroad, exchange, non-exchange, all these programs are very popular at the university. But there are different types of international or overseas programs at university. I'm going to introduce you to two different types, and this is pretty much common for all the other universities. Number one, exchange program. Now this is a common thing that all students know, and it's what everyone thinks about. So the idea of exchange program is that a student from another university must come to your university in order for exchange process to happen. Your university will partner with other universities, and they make sure that a student from that overseas university comes to our university, and they send their university students to the overseas universities as well. That's how exchange works. So because of this nature, it is slightly more competitive, because if there isn't anyone coming from the other university to your university, you technically can't go overseas as well. This is one of the reasons why students tend to pick and come to big brand universities, maybe like University of Sydney. That's because, for example, University of Sydney has one of the largest global mobility network, over 250 plus partnered institutions, over 40 countries that we are partnered with. So the benefit of studying at University of Sydney, for example, is that if you have a country that you want to go to, the chances are there will be a university that we are partnered with in that country. Another good thing about exchange program here is that you don't have to pay the tuition fee upfront, because it will most likely be covered by HECS if you're a domestic student. It's because technically you're still studying at your own university, but you're just exchanging with another student, so you don't technically have to pay their tuition fee. On the other hand, we have non-exchange program. That is slightly different. It's not well known to most of other students. That's because the whole idea of non-exchange program is that your university does not have to have another university student coming to your university. That's why it's called non-exchange program. So technically, every universities across the world, well, most of them, will have their own program saying, oh, we welcome any students across the globe to come. So as long as you meet their criteria, satisfy their admission criteria, you are eligible to go. That's why non-exchange programs are relatively less competitive to exchange programs. There are more spots because universities open dozens of spots, whereas for exchange, only 2 or 3 students might actually come over. There's more vacancy, there's more pool, that's why it's relatively less competitive for you to go over. However, the downside is that you have to pay the tuition fee upfront for most of the cases. But given that we have 2 different study abroad programs, within those 2 programs, there are different types of exchange or non-exchange program. First one, semester and year-long exchange. We usually call this a long-term exchange. That's because you are expected to go overseas for about a semester or for a whole year in your duration of your studies. Students are expected to complete at least 3 or 4 subjects in each semester overseas, given that you are going on a long-term exchange. Second type is short-term exchange, where that's when students go overseas to study over their winter or summer break. It could go for 2 to 6 weeks. University breaks are usually 2 to 6 weeks, and generally students could take up from 1 to 3 subjects during that time. It's an intensive program, so the whole subjects gets delivered intensively during that winter break or summer break. And lastly, there are faculty-based programs. It is basically when your home faculty has their own international program. I'll give you an example from University of Sydney Business School, because that's where I belong. Business School of University of Sydney has numerous international programs, one being business study tours. That's where students go to a partnered country for about 2 to 3 weeks. They work on a business project and they get to pitch the solution to the clients. You're able to apply some of the business frameworks that you've learned in your class in a more practical world in an international environment. Another example of business school international programs are international industry placement program that allows students to go on 10 weeks of internships in an overseas institution. It's a fabulous international internship experience, which we highly recommend students if they have the capacity to go over. Now, moving away from business school, in the Faculty of Arts and Social Science, they have what they call Field of Study Southeast Asia. It's like a study tour version of Faculty of Arts and Social Science. They go to Asian countries, they study the culture, they learn the language, and they look at how people in that lifestyle actually live. So that's why it's called field study of certain country. So these are some faculty-based programs. There are numerous of them, one for everyone from all different sorts of backgrounds. So you probably have at least one chance or opportunity to go on international experience. So let me tell you a bit about my journey. I was fortunate enough to get into Yonsei University in Korea as a short-term non-exchange program. I had to pay the tuition fee up front. It was about 3 million Korean won. That was about 3,350 Australian dollars roughly. The flight ticket cost me around $2,500, but I did not need any accommodation because I'll be staying over in my grandparents' place. Fortunately enough, I was able to receive Vice Chancellor's Global Mobility Scholarship to cover some of my travel expenses. Speaking of scholarship, there are numerous scholarships available for students who are intending on going on exchange or international studies. For example, at University of Sydney, there's DL Scholarship, there's Vice Chancellor Global Mobility Award, there's Vice Chancellor's Global Mobility Scholarship, there's Westpac Scholarship, so many available for students. The scholarship that I received, Vice Chancellor's Global Mobility Scholarship, is scholarship given to students who have demonstrated some strong academic performance. So anyone who got over 75 WAM, which is a distinction plus, in the whole duration of the studies are eligible for this scholarship. You don't have to apply for it. The university automatically assesses you and they give scholarships based on these results and ranks. Then you might ask, okay Daniel, why did you want to go on study abroad program? Firstly, I wanted to go on study abroad program to subscribe to other cultures across the globe and actually be part of their lifestyle to broaden my understanding and my perspectives around the world or the people that I'll be dealing with in the future. It's an amazing experience because 1 month I really wanted to dive into some of the lifestyles that other cultures, other universities are subscribing to. That way I will be able to better understand those people around me as a global citizen. It's always great to be exposed to different experiences, different cultures, as it contributes to your cultural competency as well. And secondly, this study abroad program, exchange or non-exchange, whatever it is an opportunity only given to university students, and I really wanted to secure that. I'm in my last year. I only got 1 more semester left, and I really wanted to have this international experience before I graduate, because again, this is a lifetime opportunity, and as soon as I graduate from a university student, I am no longer eligible to apply as a bachelor student. Therefore, I did not want to let go of this opportunity. Really wanted to maximize my time at university and get the most out of this time. Thirdly, I wanted to really meet new friends from all around the world. I'll be going to Yonsei International Summer School. That's when Yonsei University opens their school for everyone around the world. There isn't a lot of opportunity where all these students from different countries come together in a single class and study. Obviously, Sydney University is a very multicultural university. We have people from all around the world, but again, from a different environment, that's going to be a huge difference. I want to hear their stories, what their university experiences are like, and share mine as well. And I really hope to build long-lasting friendships from this short-term non-exchange program. Lastly, and I think everyone would understand, I just wanted to fly out of Sydney, moving away from COVID after the lockdown. Few application tips from my experience if you're studying at the University of Sydney or just in general. Prepare early. Get your documents ready. The reason why you gotta prepare early is because you need to get your academic approval on time and you don't want to leave it to the last minute. Academic approval is when you study overseas in other university, you're asking your university to approve that qualification, saying you want to transfer that subject to your course so that it actually contributes and counts towards your degree. It's not something that you do as an extracurricular, but it counts towards your actual academics. The process of academic approval was a nightmare for me. I still haven't received my academic approval yet. It's been around 8 weeks, but the academics haven't really approved my request yet when I'm flying overseas next week. I've got one approval, but I just need an approval for another subject, but I wish I could have done that a little bit even more earlier so that I am not going to be under this stress. Secondly, renew your passports early. Number 3, buy your flight tickets early because it will get expensive as it gets closer to the date. If you buy it way in advance, usually it will be cheaper. And lastly, research a lot about the university. Research about what the university that you're looking to go into are known for, what's the culture like, study about the country because there will be a lot of cultural differences and you don't want to experience some culture shock or you don't want to be very rude or insulting anyone from different cultures. And research about the courses or scholarships that are available for you, that you'll be eligible for in host university as well. Because again, if you can receive a scholarship, that actually alleviates a lot of financial pressures that may be on students who are going on international experience. Lastly, I just want to wrap up talking about why I chose Yonsei University and why Korea? I come from a Korean background, so my heritage is in Korea. I originally had to toss between Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore in Italy or Yonsei University initially. I was accepted into both. I was fortunate enough to again receive scholarship from both universities. It was really a matter of my own decision which university I want to go, which country I want to go. Initially, I wanted to go to Italy, or I was leaning slightly more towards Italy. That's because again my background's in Korea and I can go Korea anytime, but Italy seemed like a more rare or unique opportunity for me. I also wanted to study fashion, and I got an academic approval to study fashion overseas in Italy, in Milan, so that really hyped me up. But I made my final decision to go Yonsei in Korea because number one, friends that I'm traveling with, prefer to go Korea. That played a part. Secondly, there were numerous events in Korea that I wanted to go during this time. There's Psy Water Show, which is known to be the best concert that a Korean student could ever go in their lifetime, because Psy, the Gangnam Style producer, is famous for having these concerts. Psy just won't let you go home. Now, I'm not gonna miss this one out. And again, like I said, I wanted to subscribe to a lifestyle of a Korean student. So going to Psy Water Show, I can definitely feel that. And secondly, there's a special soccer match between Tottenham Hotspur, the team that I support, and K-League All-Star team. These two experiences definitely was a big selling point for me to choose Korea over Italy. Thirdly, I wanted to experience Korean University campus life in one of the dream universities amongst Korean students. Yonsei University is known to be one of the top universities in Korea, ranked somewhere in the early 80th according to QS World Ranking. Yonsei University, alongside with Korea University, their long-time historical rival, they are known to provide students with the best campus experience. They have annual rivalry competition going on, there are festivals, lots of K-pop idols come over, they have so many different events and extracurricular activities that are going on to make sure that students in this university are rewarded with the best experience. I watched so much of that on YouTube, in Korean K-dramas, in web dramas, and look, I really wanted to try that and I wanted to feel that. That's why I chose to go Yonsei in Korea. And lastly, it's financially less pressuring. So I did not have to pay for accommodation because I'll be staying in my grandparents' place. And Asian countries are known to be relatively cheaper in terms of the cost of living compared to Europe. With my limited budget, Korea was definitely a great option for me to go. So hopefully today's video gave you a good summary and overview of some of the international programs that a university student in Australia could be offered and could secure. I hope this was very helpful to you. Make sure to subscribe and like my channel. I'll come back to you very soon in 6 days. Thank you.